So today we're going to answer the question, how can I go to the SEMA show? And the answer to that question depends entirely upon who you are.
Who are you?
I am Chase. I am Groot.
In general, the SEMA show is not open to the public, but there are a couple of different ways that you can attend. In fact, there are 3 ways you can attend, and plus we kind of have one as a bonus, even though it's a little bit sketchy. The first thing you have to realize is that SEMA is a trade organization, and the SEMA show is a trade show. It's not a car show.
So in general, only people that are part of the automotive aftermarket are qualified to attend. However, by the end of the video, we're going to tell you 3 ways that the general public can take part.
There are basically 3 types of people that can attend SEMA. Exhibitors, those are the people that are there to sell things to people who are in the automotive industry. Then there are the attendees. Attendees are the people who are there to buy things from the people who are selling. And then the third type of person is the media, people like us who are there to cover the event.
If you're in one of those 3 classes that are qualified to attend, the registration process is pretty much the same.
That process is fairly simple. You just go to semashow.com, click on register, and then you register for whichever type of group you belong to. Once that registration process is completed, you may be asked to provide supplemental documentation. That means things like your business ID or your tax ID, sometimes a photo ID from the place that you work, some sort of proof that you are in the automotive industry. Now, if you're like us, we're in the media, so we had to provide examples of our media work. Now, you can't just be like a YouTube channel. You need to be an actual business. We have a YouTube channel, yes, but we are actually a media company. We have a business license, a tax ID, and we're able to register through those means.
So as far as actually going into the show, into the convention center, there's a hard rule that you have to be over the age of 16 years old. So if you're under 16, you're tough out of luck.
There are a few other rules about attending SEMA that can actually prohibit you. So just because you're in a business doesn't mean you can go. A lot of businesses are actually excluded from attending SEMA specifically. And there's a huge list of people that are not allowed to attend SEMA on their business license.
But now we're going to get to probably what 90% of you clicked on this video to find out, and that is how the general public can take part in the SEMA show.
As we said at the beginning of this video, there are basically 3 ways that you can participate in the SEMA show. We're going to tell you those 3 ways, and then as a bonus, we're going to give you one way that's sort of shady and might be able to get you to attend the show. Number 1.
So if you're an educator or a counselor at any accredited educational institution, you can register to attend as long as you're bringing at least 1 student. That student still needs to be 16 years old or older.
That's right. That means any high school, college, university, or trade school that's accredited and you're coming as a student and you're 16 years old, you can come to the SEMA show.
And with the student or educator pass, you can be there all week. Number 2.
The second way that you can participate with the SEMA show is at something called SEMA Ignited.
SEMA Ignited is the official after party of the SEMA show.
You're going to see thousands of cars that were on display during the SEMA show. Plus, there's going to be live music, there's Formula Drift exhibition going on, there's live music. Did I say live music twice?
I think you did.
There's going to be food trucks, a huge crowd, and it's just really something to see.
SEMA Ignited does require tickets, so you will have to go to SEMAignited.com and buy those there. You'll have 2 choices. One is standing room only, and the other one is actually reserved seating tickets. Number 3.
The third way to attend SEMA is something called the SEMA Friday Experience. Now this is open to the general public, and basically you can buy a ticket to attend the SEMA show onto the SEMA floor, but only for Friday. You cannot come during the early part of the week. It's Friday only.
And your ticket for the Friday Experience also includes attendance to SEMA Ignited.
Right, so you can spend the whole day at the SEMA show, come outside, see the SEMA rollout, the SEMA show cruise that leaves the convention center and heads over to SEMA Ignited. It's an amazing show, and then you can go over, hang out at Ignited, take advantage of all the cool things that are happening over there, including vendors, displays, all that live music and everything we talked about. Gotta love a food truck. Maybe do we have food trucks with like custom wheels and stuff on it?
If not, they should.
Someone should have that.
And here's your not 100% legit bonus way that you could take part in the SEMA show awesomeness. One of my life philosophies is you can do whatever you want until someone stops you and says that you can't. So one little secret is the outside portion of the SEMA show, and there's thousands of the most amazing cars you've ever seen out there. There's no one checking badges out there. No one's really checking anything until you try to enter the convention center. So you can walk up and walk around and check out whatever you want until someone stops you and says you can't.
Right. I wouldn't say that I would encourage this, but if you're willing to give it a try, you might be able to sneak yourself onto the SEMA grounds and see some pretty cool cars displayed out in front of the building. Also out front, there's sometimes drifting going on, the Hoonigans out there. A lot of times manufacturers have things set up and there's a lot of crazy stuff going on.
I'm glad you brought that up, because while you might be able to walk around and you see all the cars and you see these displays going on or these exhibitions going on, you're going to notice that at some of them there's actually lines forming where people might be getting in a car with Tanner Faust, who's putting on the drift exhibition and everything. Don't waste your time getting in the line. The line is an hour, 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours long, and you cannot do that unless you have a badge. Now on Friday specifically, if you're out there on the grounds outside, there's something that happens in the afternoon called the SEMA Show Rollout. And that's when all of the cars are actually leaving the convention center floor, rolling out. Many of them are going over to SEMA Ignited, but you can stand out there along the road. There's bleachers and everything. And again, it's as long as no one checks you for a badge, which I'm pretty sure there's none of that going on. But you can sit there and basically see the entire SEMA show roll right by you.
Yeah, and it's amazing. You're going to see some of the most amazing cars you've ever seen.
And a perfect example of that kind of SEMA show insanity is this Hellcat swapped BMW.